Here we are. I'm excited about what's about to happen. And I'm listening to the voice inside my head asking me this question: what is it that I can show these people today so that they can see and imagine and visualize them for themselves a better future for themselves and a better themselves? Because ultimately, we're here to grow and evolve. And I say better self not with judgment, but because I believe, and you don't have to believe what I believe, that human beings are here to reach their potential. And so, what I'm about to share over the next few minutes are going to be simple and easy ways that you can move towards a better you, a better future for yourself, for your family, and for your community, so that you can make the best of the short and the precious time that we have here on this planet. What I'm about to share are 3 pieces of wisdom that come not necessarily directly from my heart and my mind, but that I'm interpreting from the heart and mind of one of the most superb humans that I've ever encountered. Mom! Where is my hairbrush? Mom! Where's my pink polka dotted top? Mom! Where are my white shorts? Things were going missing, and I didn't like it. My dad was taking a trip to Disneyland, and he refused to take my sister and I. She was 11, I was 8 at the time. How dare he? This is the biggest injustice that we can imagine. And to make matters worse, the morning that my dad was traveling, my mom made us get out of the bed, get in the car, and drive to the airport so we could say goodbye to him. Arms crossed, heels dug into the gravel driveway, tantrums imminent. When we get to the airport, my mom says, "Okay, kids, you can take your suitcases out of the trunk." What? Take your suitcases out of the trunk? You're going to Disneyland. Oh my God, we're going to Disneyland. My mom had been packing our suitcases, so thankfully inside was my hairbrush and my pink polka dotted top and my little white shorts. My sister and I felt like we had won the jackpot. And actually, months before this happened, my dad is showing my sister and I his bank book. I'm too young to know what all those zeros mean, but I do understand it when he says that your mom and I won the lottery. Now, it was a big prize split between a big number of people, and my parents ended up winning $75,000, which is better than going aground in a sailboat. My parents did 4 things with their winnings. Thing 1 was they paid off some debt they incurred to buy their house, not their mortgage, personal debt. Thing 2 was a surprise trip to Disneyland. It was so fun to meet Donald Duck for the first time. My mom and my sister and I played while my dad was at some convention in an air-conditioned locked room, I'm assuming doing whatever adults do at convention. The 3rd thing they did was take us on a trip to Europe. 6 weeks there, the first 10 days on a canal boat in Oxford, opening locks and closing locks, waiting for the waters to fall and waiting for the waters to rise. The remaining weeks we spent in an orange, pop-up top, Westphalia camper van, camping all over Europe, 10 different countries. The cool thing about what my parents decided to do with this money was give us experiences. Instead of buying things, they shared treasured and precious memories with us. And my mom and my sister and I were recently looking through those photo albums. It was the day of my dad's service. He'd passed 2 months previous to this. We were so happy that we had these records of all these happy, precious times. My dad was about big love, and he was loved in a big way. In front of 400 people in this church, his church friends, families, friends of ours. There was a live Zoom broadcast just like this to 10 different countries. I stood up and I shared a story on behalf of my family. I shared a story, one of the most poignant ones, about my dad and how he impacted me. It was my second year of naturopathic college, and I failed not 1, not 2, but 3 midterms. And I was terrified to tell my parents. They'd gotten a second mortgage on their home to help me get this education. And there it is on the wall in the college hallway, Tanya, flunk, flunk, flunk. It's circa 2004-05. Google Chat seemed like the best opportunity to talk to my dad about this. And so I type, Dad, I failed 3 midterms. And I waited, peeking through my hands like it's the scary part of a horror movie, not wanting to look, but needing to see. What was he going to type back? You know those moments where you're waiting for something to happen? Like there's this crucial thing that's going on and you're just waiting? The 4th thing that my parents did with their lottery winnings was when we came back from Europe, my dad had the bug to be on the water more. So he bought a little sailboat, later upgraded to a larger one. For the remaining of his time, most of our family trips and adventures were spent centered around the boat, cruising, racing, sometimes just eating dinner in the marina. Sometimes being on the water, looking up, watching fireworks inspire us from up above. This one particular weekend, my sister and I and my dad were cruising in the Gulf Islands off BC's coast. Maybe due to inexperience or maybe a miscalculation, my dad ran the boat aground. There we are, keel dug into the rocky shores of BC's Salish Sea. We didn't have time to wait for the water to rise. My mom and my sister and I are rising to the challenge of documenting the big good stuff that my dad put into this world. My sister and I are collating a list. We call it #Dadrules because dad rules, and frankly, our dad's rules for life are simple and practical and silly and deeply profound. My dad was sick for a while before he passed away. It was about 5 years of neurological decline. He started to lose his ability to speak and communicate with us. Things were going missing and we didn't like it. And thankfully there's hashtags and shared Google documents so that we can remember so things don't have to go missing. And one of the things that I see missing in a lot of my clients and patients' lives is balance. And though elusive, balance is actually what the universe wants for us. Days roll into nights and nights roll into days. There's masculine energy and feminine energy. There's activity and there's rest. One of the ways I encourage my patients and clients to find balance is to find the rhythm of the things they're saying yes to and the rhythm of things they're saying no to. Essentially, what promises are they making and keeping to themselves? That was something our dad always taught us. Keep your promises. And thankfully, as we grew and as we evolved, he changed the message. He changed the message to make sure that you make promises that you can keep. Be discerning. What are you saying yes to? What are you saying no to? What do you want to be saying yes to that you're saying no to? And what do you want to be saying no to that you're saying yes to? And sometimes when we say yes to ourselves, that means we have to say no to convention. Convention can take us somewhere. But most of us are craving a unique and authentic experience in this human life, this short and precious human life. And you might have to say no to convention to get to where you want to go. If we look back at human history, the people who have changed the course of human evolution, who have made us better, they changed convention. They stood up. They took a stand for what their dreams were. They turned over the table. They made a fuss. They rocked the boat. And so we seek balance. We seek this rhythm of yeses and nos, of promises that we can keep, saying no to convention. So there we are, dug into the rocky shores of BC's Salish Sea, and Captain Glenn yells, "Rock the boat! Rock the boat if you want to live!" So me and my sister and my dad ran to one side of the boat, and we ran to another side of the boat. And eventually we lifted the keel and we were able to float to deeper and safer waters. And there I am, needing to look, but not wanting to see. What is he going to type back to me? And he typed back 10 words that I stood up and shared with 400 plus people, 10 words that I have shared with thousands over the years, that I am going to share with thousands more, I'm sure. These words changed how I take care of myself and how I teach others to do that. My dad typed to me, he said, "Are you getting enough exercise?" Hashtag Dadrules, it's all about balance, sweetie. My dad lived exactly how he wanted to live. He spread joy, created treasured memories for the people that he cared about. I was so happy and so honored that I got to stand up and share this story with these people at his service that day. After I told that story, I told a little bit about how he spent his last precious moments. Thankfully, we as his family were able to keep our promise to him. He died exactly as he wanted. 7 of us surrounding his bedside. Mom stroking his forehead, all of us holding hands, sharing treasured memory of sailing trips and trips to Europe and Disneyland. Miles Davis playing in the background. Us telling him how big our love is for him and how grateful we are for his rules to life. Hashtag Dadrules #1, rock the boat if you want to live. Hashtag Dadrules #2, it's all about balance, sweetie. Hashtag Dadrules #3, rock the boat. Rock the boat if you want to live. It might also be keep your promises and make promises you can keep, depending on what I said a couple minutes ago. Now you're going to leave this presentation in a few seconds, and you can go about your life. And maybe nothing will change for you. But maybe you can keep a promise to yourself and take it all in and allow yourself to be okay. Here's one more thing. Hashtag Dadrules #12. If you're keen to make a hot chocolate, mix the powder into a little bit of water and make a paste first. Hashtag Dadrules.